Lester, it's the christening of this shirt. First time ever wearing it. Not happy with the collar. It could be tighter, but it's a larger model. Girlfriend off camera will not appear on camera, says I look fine. I'm performing not just for you, but for my lady. And of course, the friends that are part of the force. I'm gonna push forward. Lester, what do you think of the shirt? I knew you'd say that. Guys, it's time for Colin from Canada presents Colin from Canada's Good Junk, episode 65. It's about a 5 out of 10 on the intro. Lester, let's roll the theme. Elbow is killing me.
What the hell is this?
I speak jive.
Will you stop?
As God is my witness, I thought turkeys could fly.
They think they got the answers. I change the questions.
You don't like it? We don't care.
What a dumb thing to do. I bet you wouldn't have done anything like this if Mom and Dad were here.
A recognized symbol of excellence in
Dramatic comedy. Friends, get your carcasses in here. The program has to begin. We're going with the quote right in the door. It's going atop the shoulder. Read along, optional, Lester, they know. On the most romantic Sacred Heart day of the year, Valentine's Day, along with the floral arrangement, bought Queen Mother of Canada a dental plaque pick. That's, of course, about the legend John Riddell and past Valentine's Day gifts for Lynn Riddell, the Queen Mother. Colin from Canada said that episode 54. We got to throw it up, guys. Okay. Let's get to the beverages. As we talked about last week, dollar drink days are on at McDonald's, along with extra large coffees with 2 milk. Diet Coke still not in the vending machine, so we bring the Coke Zero. Dr. Zeus commemorative tumbler, lid still not off. Lester, I'm battling what I believe to be tennis elbow. Although I've never had it before, I feel I have it now. Go on the WebMD and tell me that I have tennis elbow while I crack this bad boy. Injured the middle finger and its nail. My girlfriend had, well, almost. My girlfriend has her headphones on, so she's not listening to the nonsense, although, why would she? Why would anybody? Positivity, Lester! Positivity. We're gonna pour the rest of the contents into the Dr. Zeus commemorative tumbler and put the lid back on. After that, everyone at home knows what occurs, as do you, Lester. The ceremonial first sip is complete. Friends, wall particulars. Good coffee is always free. Not looking at you guys, looking over here. John Riddell, living legend. Kurt Cobain, hey pal, YouTube Ultra Mega Superstar, Colin from Canada. Quote of the week we've already done. King of YouTube atop the robe that is in fact part of the AmCan connection that you can't really read at the present moment. Are you sick of this friendship yet? The Air Defender light that came in the package from Mike D and Associates. Associates means the rest of his family, his 2 sons and his wife. I know the wife really loved sending this over to Colin from Canada.
Real bad man.
Diet Coke, I talk, it moves. Diet Coke sunglasses with the neck holsters, shoelaces. The honorary Academy Award given to me for all-around greatness by the Academy of Motion Pictures Arts and Sciences. The title belt is there. It's currently held by Rolf the dog. He's taken on Dr. Bunsen Honeydew in a match that has some surprising outcomes so far. We're going to get to that at the end of the program. Let's finish it off with the art. From the treasure hunt in Brampton, $4.50. Lester, I will again. As Gorilla Monsoon might say, he's favoring that left elbow. That could come into play later on in the match. Match would be the filming, Lester. They know what they know. They can. Guys, I have my brand new notebook. You guys want to see my notebook? It's a wolf blowing smoke, and there's a hummingbird and a butterfly in the smoke. I mostly just care for the lined paper inside, where I will set up episode 65, and what is included this week. Let me start off by saying, for those paying close attention, the Colin from Canada caffeine initiated was not initiated last week, Lester. Did you guys notice? I was hyper enough and the caffeine was living inside this body, but it wasn't up to a level where it was initiated. Okay? So you know what that means. And let's chase it. I'm not gonna lie, you guys might have saw that. Might have saw
Struggling.
that. We're not stopping, Lester. A little coffee went up my nostrils. A little coffee went up my nose. That's me telling the girlfriend that I got coffee up my nose. Okay, yeah, the coffee was not the coffee. Throw it up, Lester. 4 minutes into the introduction, no. And again, 4.5 minutes into the welcome, blooper. Then 4.5 minutes trying to say it correctly, blooper again. Caffeine was not initiated, covered it. I don't think Dennis gets enough love. You guys know Dennis. He appears at any moment. He just doesn't get the love. Dennis. He's part of the team. We don't talk about him a lot, Lester. I think we should talk him. Yeah.
Struggling.
Talk about him more. He's an integral part of the show. He is my man in the field, reporting, okay? Guys, Ray, Cheryl, John Riddell, 5 from the camera roll. We got 5 Davids, 5 cassettes. The Deep Cut Deep Dive will take you to a documentary you guys are going to know and love. You're going to love, then you're going to know it, because you probably don't know it. Some of you might. It's a bit of a deep cut. 83, I believe. And it's on YouTube. We're going to get to that momentarily, down the line. Gorilla Monsoon, there's a new quote. Went to my niece's spring concert, and we have some highlights from that in the clip of the week. That's dynamite. A Conversational Scottish, brought to you by the legend. He's back. Show and tell. New challenger to whoever wins that. The sponsor. Is it 2 weeks in a row? Lester, we've never done it before. 2 weeks in a row. He stays on as a sponsor. You guys know who I'm talking about if you watched last week. The greatest mind in wrestling. Actually, I would say yes. Wow. I've gone to the nose indiscriminately. We saw that. Indiscriminately. 3 times already, possibly 4. In the pause and break between segments, I will tend to the nose hairs. And we have a new news clip. I say we just go now.
On a hot rod, I don't care who he steps in there with, he's confident.
Friends, something I've been doing recently is, I know what you're going to say. Why didn't I prior to? I could have. I didn't. Yes, one thing that I've been doing, friends, is when I film here at the studio with all of my accoutrements, that's the VHS, the DVD, the thrift store pickups, I don't always bring the stuff home again. I'll put it in the back, and then put it in the back, and put it in the back. And I will have an exorbitant amount of VHS, DVD, thrift store pickups accumulating in the back of our unit, which is currently not being used for anything, because my boss is under the weather, and I don't run the poker anymore. Getting my point, pushing forward. The VHS and DVD that are in the master list are mingling, cross-mingling, and intertwining with the VHS and DVD that I have not put in the list yet, Lester. So we can't have that. So we have taken large Dollarama bags, which I could show you, but they're over there, and I just can't reach it. I've brought them all home and made sure that all of them are now in the master list and there's no separation of the two. No one cared about that, Lester. But they need to know. Something else you need to know. 5 Davids and 5 cassettes from the collection. Power Karate. Hunks with hats. Tai Chi for arthritis. Stretching to the classics. Yeah, we'll tell you about it. So during takes, I politely talked to my girlfriend who is not listening because she has the headphones on, and I was saying that the nose hairs are running rampant. And I was questioning on how I was saying it, and Lester was trying to correct me. I was saying rampit, then I was saying rampint, then I was saying rampant. And it's kind of, I got it. And she heard none of it. And then I chuckled to myself. Guys, demons! Okay? Everyone loves a sneak preview, especially when they're given complimentary tickets to a beautifully renovated theater. However, the group invited to the Metropolis will wish to God that they never left home. Entering the lobby, they notice a motorcycle on display, a samurai sword on one side, a sinister mask on the other. A young woman tries on the mask, pulling it away. She is cut by its sharp edges. She has just become the first. Inside an almost empty auditorium, the movie begins. On a screen, a young couple discovers a mask inside the tomb of Nostradamus. Once touched, the mask releases a terrifying force that contaminates and destroys everything, both on and off the screen. The characters in the movie become meshed with the audience. One by one, they are either transformed or destroyed. The theater exits have disappeared. The only way to escape is to stop the film, or is it? 1986, color, 87 minutes. Eye of the Eagle 2, Inside the Enemy. Is that a photo from the movie? No, it's a drawing. No expense was spared. Love, revenge, and blood-seeking bullets in the killing fields of Vietnam. Somewhere on the hellish battlegrounds of the Vietnam War, a sadistic major deserts his young platoon in the heat of combat. Left for dead, they fight valiantly until all are gunned down in a barrage of bullets, all except one, Private Anthony Glenn. Glenn, a teenage boy on the verge of manhood, meets up with the alluring May, the sole survivor of her war-wrecked village. The two make it back to American lines only to be plagued by Major Sorensen, the drug-running, pimping hellcat who has vowed to kill Glenn in revenge for turning him in. Glenn and May, MEI, however I said it earlier, battle the evils of heroin, Asian gangsters, the Viet Cong, and Sorensen in a heroic life and death struggle, but their love and courage alone may not be enough. Private Glenn must learn to master the Eye of the Eagle. I'm enjoying reading these, guys. Ghoulies 2. They'll get you in the end again. The Ghoulies are back and more devilish than ever as they turn an unsuspecting carnival into a house of pandemonium in this wildly outrageous sequel to the original smash hit, Ghoulies. Satan's Den has received its final warning. Either the not-so-creepy House of Horrors spooks up its act and scares up some customers fast, or its gateway to hell will be closed for eternity. Just when Larry Prentice believes there's not a ghost of a chance to save his show, he gets some uninvited visitors to spice things up. The Ghoulies make Satan's Den their home and profits soar as the demonic little creatures wreak havoc on the helpless fairgrounds. So take a ride on the Ghoulie Go-Round and play some bumper Ghoulies. Enjoy yourself, because the Ghoulies will get you in the end. The hilarious action-packed hit, and I can rent this or buy this for $1.99. He's America's Most Wanted Dad, Patrick Swayze, Fatherhood. There's no escaping laughter. Screen sensation Patrick Swayze stars as Jack Charles, a lovable small-time crook with big-time dreams. Jack's latest scheme of hitting it big is interrupted when two strangers, his kids, suddenly appear on his doorstep to reclaim him as their dad. Before long, Jack and the kids are racing towards the biggest heist of his career. Pursued by the cops and the FBI on a hair-raising, action-packed cross-country chase, the non-stop hit delivers an arresting combination of action and comedy sure to entertain everyone. A fast ride, says the Los Angeles Times. My apologies, 95 minutes, and that is 19... I'm not stopping. Lester will put it up in the edit. Also, Ghoulies is 1987. Did I tell you when Eye of the Tiger was? Inside the Enemy, Eye of the Tiger, Eye of the Eagle, 2, Inside the Enemy. We're not stopping, Lester. I got this under control. I didn't tell you when Eye of the Eagle 2, the Inside the Enemy, was released, because it's 1989, and how many minutes is it? You need to know. 1 hour and 19 minutes. Get these back in the proper order. We're not stopping. Guys, heat seeker, okay?
I can feel it. I can feel the power. Yes! Yes!
I know where I am. Meet the ultimate warrior in cyber technology. It's the year 2019 in New America. The sport of kickboxing is ruled by Chance O'Brien, the only 100% human fighter in a sport now dominated by cyborg kickboxers. Tung, the corrupt evil CEO of Styx, develops Yao, the ultimate bio-enhanced fighter with superior strength, cunning, and killer instincts. To prove to the entire world the superiority of his company's new technology, he sets up a global tournament inviting all different styles of fighters to participate. For Chance, the only true opponent of Yao, refuses to participate. Tung then ruthlessly kidnaps Joe, Chance's beautiful trainer and fiance. As a result, Chance must risk death in the tournament or Joe will be killed. Coerced into the competition, Chance fights with hard and intense action through the preliminary rounds until the final culmination, where he must use his skill and stunning techniques to battle Yao. The action is blazing all the way through to the ultimate showdown. 1995. 91 minutes, okay? Cassette's done. Time for David's. And speaking of David's, Hasselhoff, Anacondas 3, The Offspring. Or just Offspring. They can taste your fear, people. Coil up on the couch and prepare yourself for more action, more danger, and more snakes. The giant anacondas are back in the next chapter in the thrilling series, starring David Hasselhoff as Hammett, the ruthless mercenary and snake slayer. In a secret research facility, 2 mega snakes are undergoing testing by a brilliant scientist, Amanda. But when the financier, Murdoch, pushes the experiment too far, the snakes escape. Hungry and heading for civilization, what Hammett doesn't know is that one of the snakes is expecting a litter of slithering offspring. Now the race is on to head off the snakes' unstoppable onslaught before they reach the city, okay? Are you scared too? The last game you'll ever play. 93 minutes, 2009. I am falling behind, guys, and dropping the ball endlessly. Anacondas 3 is 91 minutes, and it was released in 2006, okay? Are You Scared is not much reading because it's Killer Tomatoes Eat France, okay? The streets of Paris run red as violent vegetables eat France. The razor-toothed tomatoes return in Killer Tomatoes Eat France, and this time they're craving French food. Filmed in France, the juicy plot unfolds as the evil professor, Gangrene, and his bungling henchman, Igor, create a new strain of tomatoes to devour the country. Only a young American tourist claiming to be Michael J. Fox and his girlfriend, who's one hot tomato herself, can stop them. The battle rages from the dungeon of France's newest tourist attraction, Igor's Really Big Castle, to a Ben-Hur-style car chase around the Arc de Triomphe and a heavy metal rock riot at the Louvre. You guys know I failed French, but I went over that nicely. It's kick to the head. Sorry, I did it again. Lester, where are you? Get on it, buddy. 1991, 93 minutes for Killer Tomatoes Eat France. Again, kick to the head. Fight, survive, repeat as necessary. There is, I apologize, there is a description. When a comical mob bagman rats out the local mob boss, the bagman's cousin must rescue him from both the mob and the cops so he can testify at the grand jury. Action, craziness, martial arts are all included in this, David. It is 2003. We got the year, but we have no duration. Lester will put it up. Finally, special edition Diane Ladd Carnosaur. From chicken eggs, a deranged geneticist brings dinosaurs back to life. A brilliant discovery till she turns the carnivores loose on a quiet town. They breed like rats, they prey like the plague. It's man against the most vicious beasts of all. Time and neither will survive while the other is alive. Had some trouble with that because it was in two separate areas. I could barely read it. And when I pause, it's because they're telling me who stars in it and then the movies they've done. And I'm skipping over that. What it doesn't say, I'm going to check the front. And you need a magnifying glass to check this. Okay? Because, oh, I see it. Guys, I see it. And it is an iPhone 16. And it might be able to pick up that name right there. Am I doing the right thing? No, I'm not. I've lost it. Guys, we're not stopping. Because trust me, this will pay off in the end. Okay. Guys, we're right there. We're zooming in. And that is really not picking it up. But I'll just sit back down here and I'll tell you. I will tell you who I'm pointing at in font 2 if you're playing along with the computer. That's probably font 2, whoever did the Carnosaur. Let me tell you what that name is. Lester, I have milked this for far too long. I should have said it by now. This gentleman has a brother whose name is Ron Howard. Worth millions? He's not fixing the jibs. Did I go to it again? This time, did I do it on purpose? Did I look up the filmography on the IMDb's on the internet regarding Clint Howard? He's not fixing the jibs. This has been 5 VHS and 5 DVDs from my personal collection, and that includes Carnosaur 1, starring Clint Howard, in microscopic font. Hope you enjoyed.
Look at the tremendous conditioning of Rowdy Piper.
Lester, Cheryl, the wife, you guys know, questions need to be answered, and I don't know the answers, and I am afraid to say I don't know the questions either. As we mentioned last week, perhaps the week before, she's on a little tangent. I can't follow her. I can't, Lester. But she needs answers. She wants answers. And if I may, when she's waiting for an answer, she wants to stand there. She wants to stand at the podium. Is the time up? Is the time not up? I don't know. But when the highfalutin lawyers, Lester, I said highfalutin again. You guys remember last week I did highfalutin. When their highfalutin lawyers are up at the podium, they're 10 deep up at the podium. Why can't she stay there? That's another answer we need answered. Question we need answered. I know what I'm trying to say. We're not stopping, but the caffeine is in fact hitting. Lester, it's time for the wife. It's time for Cheryl.
You have no idea who knows me. I'm not the rancher. I got marbles here. I have 2 boobs, not 6. Do you know you have scratchy toilet paper? So, I'd like to know the compromises. Somebody want to tell me?
We'll have Ben answer that question for you.
Okay, I'm going to stand here, okay?
I prefer to have you sit down just so he can respond to your questions.
Now, you know what? When they're fancy attorneys, they all stand up here. What's the problem?
Lester, I'm not going to lie to you, nor would I ever. It was coming down to the wire in relation to the thrift store pickups. It is, because the people care, Saturday night, June 6th, going into 10:21 in the PM, and as of daybreak today, I had no thrift store pickups. I look like I know what I'm talking about when I'm pointing with the pen. Didn't have anything, but Saturday was kind of an open day for myself and my girlfriend, and we went thrifting, and I was able to accumulate 1 chair's worth of above paltry and above medium size array of items that you're going to see momentarily. That's right, Lester, momentarily. John Dote Hit. Dote Hit? John Dote Hit. John Dote Hit. Dote Hit. John DeHurt. Friends, left. You guys know. Socks. Not just any socks. I like the knee-high socks. You guys know. Judging by knee-high socks. right? Okay. I have to bring the chair a little closer, guys. CDs, let's go to that right away. Don't usually get the 20th Century Masters, but sometimes I do. Rare Earth, it's all the hits, you guys know. And also it goes into genres, the best of doo-wop, okay? Big Tunes, Living for the Weekend from Ministry of Sound in the UK. This is house music, electronica, things I've never heard of, but if there's one in there that piques my interest, it's worth it. And it's 2 discs. Nobody cares about that, Lester. They do, they do. Did you hear that? Lester, we push forward. Atlantic, 50 years of hits, double disc, just anyone that's ever been on, she's laughing, Atlantic Records. So my girlfriend is working on something off camera that has an elastic band. It's a, what's it called? Bristol board. This is great. Wait till I get to the books on the thrift store pickups. Is as interesting as this story I'm about to tell you. And she was wrapping it up with an elastic band, making an exorbitant amount of noise. Back in the day, too. I didn't spend $12 on this. I spent $2 on this. It's all the old hip-hop hits. She's losing control over there. Missy Elliott, this is not a test. Joey Diaz, you know the comedian? Didn't even know he had a comedy album. And it's a double disc. $2. Joey Diaz is a fun character. Jeff Foxworthy. People either take him or leave him. I'll take him. I think he's a smart comic. Have your loved ones spayed or neutered? That's the title of that one. One of my favorite jokes. If you have a blanket on your bed that says U-Haul, you might be a redneck. That's a good one, Lester. Run DMC versus Jason Nevins. It's like that. I don't need to tell you the song. You guys know the song. But we'll put it in the description for the youngsters that don't know it. You thought the story about my girlfriend with the elastic band was good. Wait till I get to the books. Board games, Ninja Burger, Secret Ninja Death Touch Edition. Steve Jackson Games, that's the same guy from the Choose Your Own Adventure books, and Ian Livingstone, okay? Last week, you remember, we don't need to throw up the photo, although we might. No, we're still on the board, the games here, Colin. Death Wish. I think it's one of those like Cards Against Humanity type games. By the way, $2.80, $4, and we have the X-Men Dice Masters complete game with the cards and all the dice. That was $2.80. Now we can get to this. Gave this to Jason, but found it again, $3. It's not sealed. The sealed one went to Jason over at the... Maybe I want to put together the General Lee, okay? This guy tried, but gave up. And the stickers are still there, okay? Honey, we can put together the General Lee. The headphones are still on. She has no idea what I'm saying. Okay, pushing forward. We're going to save the books till the end because that's where the great story comes in. VHS, Quick Toning Upper Body of Steel, the Tammy Lee collection. And yes, you will get to see what Tammy Lee looks like. That head does not match the body when that is the head. Okay. Black Belt Magazine Video presents Introduction to Boken and Kobudo by Ted Tabura. Now, I'm not going to say this guy is wearing a wash basin on his head, but that is Ted Tabura and the wash basin. Okay. Following in that footsteps, it's the Kawaso Way Beginner to Black Belt Volume 3 Jack Russell Film Productions. Sensei Masao Kawaso. Masao Kawaso. And we yes, if you ask nicely, we can get in tight to the guy that looks like a young Bill Bixby.
Don't make me angry. You wouldn't like me when I'm angry.
Lester, throw it up. Comparison. That's not Bill Bixby. That's Sensei Masao Kawaso. If I said that correctly, probably not. DVD 500 mile per hour storm. We talked about it. It's from the asylum with the weirdo with the mega croc and the whatever. Michael Beach and Casper Van Dien. Okay, he looks like the Travago guy. You didn't check Travago.
You didn't check Travago. You didn't check Travago.
My buddy Kirk, we talked about Kirk. He's the man in the field, along with Dennis. Dennis, you know Dennis. This is Kirk. We talked about him a few episodes ago, Kirk. He was looking for Gran Torino, so we picked up that for him, $3. I'm not going to charge him. He's part of the production. Now, we're getting to the books where this will turn into an amazing story, okay? First off, the stories behind 50 years of great recordings and albums. Really, really good book. It's not just the usual. They really, like Sly and the Family Stone, Grateful Dead, Led Zeppelin, year by year. That's Pet Sounds with Brian Wilson, the mastermind. $3.50. We're going to put them over there. We're running out of room here. We talked about it last episode or the episode before. The color comic books here. Garfield Christmas. I was a sucker for these as a kid. Love those. Now we get into Strange, Sudden, and Unexpected. I think these are just odd stories of a comedic nature from Scholastic Book Services. A lot of the old good books are from Scholastic. I found these, I've never heard of them, but they caught my eye. The Alfred Hitchcock and the Three Investigators in The Mystery of the Laughing Shadow. Also, Alfred Hitchcock and the Three Investigators in The Mystery of the Talking Skull. The Mystery of the Moaning Cave, ending with The Mystery of the Screaming Clock. And these guys really can't stand the screaming clock, okay? We're finishing up with this book, and I purchased it because if I am not, it's a teen. I'm going to cover it up first, then we're going to get to it. It's one of those girly preteen high school books, and if we look carefully, okay, I'm not talking about chest hair. We're not focusing on chest hair. We're focusing on this girl here. And if I am not mistaken, is that not I want to get my daughter into a university or college and I'm going to pay someone to get her in, otherwise known as Aunt Becky from Full House, Lori Loughlin. Am I saying that correctly? No help from Lester. Girlfriend doesn't know how to pronounce it. I think it's Lori Loughlin. Is that Lori Loughlin? So you go on the Googles, and this is where the story gets gripping. You go on the Googles and you type in Lori Loughlin. The girl didn't even bat an eyelash. She's got the headphones on and I'm dying. Nothing. Getting back to my story, pushing forward. A funny girl like me with Lori Loughlin. You go on the Googles, the Google homepage. I've got a crowbar homepage when I can, Lester. You go on the Google homepage and you look up a funny girl like me with Lori Loughlin on the cover, and there is absolutely not one word of anything to do with it. Then you notice that in 1985, 5 years after this book came out, she starred in Secret Admirer. And then you start thinking, is this a book that turned into Secret Admirer? Or does this have nothing to do with Secret Admirer? She has no career and she's just doing photo shoots as a young 16-year-old next to chest hair. And for $2, you turn that into a bit. So guys, get into the comments. I know you won't. I need more. I need to know. Is this the book that turned into Secret Admirer 1985, starring her? Or is she just on the cover of this book and it has nothing to do with that? $2. Dropping it again for dramatic effect, Lester. Ow! Don't itch the ear. Thrift store pickups.
Roddy Piper, extremely intelligent individual, and knows his way around that squared circle pretty well.
Friends, we put our trust in TV personalities, and that's something that's clearly a healthy idea to do. Okay? we plan our days based on the weather. I don't give a rat's keister about the weather. Unless, of course, I'm camping. Yeah, that's happening again this year. Okay, folks, getting back to my point and pushing forward. I'm at a lowered tone here, I feel. I'm not as loud as I usually am. This is where I'm usually at. We put our trust in TV personalities, and that's clearly the thing to do. They guide us during the day when it comes to the weather that is produced by the Earth. And if we are looking for a temperature, do we need to put on more clothes? Do we need to put on less clothes? In Canada, I, of course, being Colin from Canada,
Real bad man.
need to know more clothes, less clothes. Temperature, you know what I'm saying. And the people in McKinney, Texas, they need to know too, if they're still living.
Done something that is very good.
He was murdered,
but now he's dead.
Reach out to the man who died.
To the man.
Your mama, she's for free and everybody knows it.
Everyone in McKinney is dead. The temperature, the heat index right now in McKinney is 10,000, what is that, 101,105. It's hot in McKinney.
Friends, there is a friendship, a bond, a companionship in the palatial Riddell estate that perhaps does not get talked about enough, Lester. The spotlight is not shown on this friendship. Guys, it's Pixie and my dad. John Riddell, living legend, and the dog, Pixie. Toy Pomeranian. Could have won awards if we... That was a fluff. Did you guys... We didn't enter him in any contest, but we could have, and he would have won. Guys, during the day, Pixie has certain things that he receives, and there's a bit of a mental checklist going on in both my cranium and that fellow's cranium as well. Also, on occasion, we forget to check one of those off the checklist, and Pixie will stare at us like we are complete morons. The following clip is a prime example of what happens when John Riddell, living legend, or Colin from Canada, drops the ball when it comes to the checklist regarding the dog Pixie. It's time for this week's John Riddell, living legend clip.
How much is in butter? How much is in butter? How much is in butter?
Friends, Colin from Canada, in the palatial Riddell estate, John Riddell right there. This is the moment in time where Pixie looks at Dad, and Dad has to figure out what of the 7 daily things has he forgot. And Pixie will stare at him intently. Is that correct, John?
That is correct.
Okay, so we're going to figure out what... Raise it up.
You raise me up.
Guys, remember I told you, Dad, you look better when you raise it up. Pixie, what do you need, buddy?
You want your Dr. Maggie?
We think it might be Dr. Maggie. We're going to go try that. Lester, at times it's... I don't know if I can... But it's okay, because I believe I have 5 unique photos for this segment coming up. Let's go through my camera roll, guys. Dry cleaning movies, mushrooms on toast. Just a couple of horses' asses. Electric pressure cooker, urinating. Passion fruit chest cake, Charles Barkley. Friends, you... Wow. Friends, you know how it goes. The photos go there, and the details that I need to convey to you live on this pad of paper notebook. We already covered it. They saw the dust with the hummingbird and the butterfly. If it's you gotta, but, okay. Photo number 1. We meaning my girlfriend and I, not Lester and I. My girlfriend and I. We're at Giant Tiger. Now, you in America do not have Giant Tiger, but I am desperately trying to think of the equivalent that is Giant Tiger in America. Some clothes, some groceries, some home items. You guys are yelling at me right now. I was going to say Ollie's, but Ollie's has like reduced stuff and stuff nobody wants. Photo number 1. They have perfume as well and body spray. Can we get a zoom in? Caramel Mood. It's still there, Lester. And while I have my throat as it is, may I say it's a bit hoarse. Caramel Mood. So for those romantic evenings when you want to bring a lover closer, get the Caramel Mood and spray it on whatever area of the body you feel will bring the lover closer. And you're asking yourselves, although you can see it right there, how much, Colin, take my money to bring a lover closer? Or, Lester, not you, because you guys are, if you're at a singles mixer and you're looking to attract that special someone, beard, mustache, perhaps both, one or the other, I don't know. Caramel Mood, $8. Lester, $8 to bring the love of your life into your life. Okay, too long? I don't think so. Photo number 2, walking the dog on one of our many pet sitting things and walking dogs, where we find the sinkhole. That's trouble, Lester, not only for cars, but perhaps small children. And if we look at the comparison, it's quite large. It's larger than my foot size. Okay. Photo number 3, outside the studio, where I was doing my property management things, and this guy just parks on the road. If you look carefully, there's an entrance before that, and there's an entrance to my building after that. Middle of the road. Just gonna park there. Not that it's okay to put the hazards on. It's not. Hazards not even on. Lester, do they call them hazards in America, or do they call them flashers? You guys know what I'm saying. Photo number 4, going into the grocery store and caught this family outside, and the son has a bag on his head. Now, I will say this. When you approach a joke like this, you are hoping that the boy is not special needs, because then it's not funny at all. So, only laugh at this joke if you think the boy is not special needs. I don't think he was. Bag on the head. Now, you say to yourselves, well, maybe he was in the grocery store and he was fooling around and he put a bag on his head. Okay, that's funny, okay? But, again, special needs, not funny. Is the kid dyeing his hair at 13 and we're protecting, I don't know. Perhaps he's going gray at an early age. I grew up with Neville and Keki Wadia. Wow, haven't said that name in about 40 years. And Keki, or Neville, I think it was Keki, he had a gray. Lester, we are veering way down there. Kid with a bag on his head. And Keki and Neville Wadia. Photo number 5. She was in the car. I went inside to get the coffees because that's what I do as the boyfriend. McDonald's in Oakville, and we're gonna zoom in, Lester. Okay, zoom in. Now, get a look at that guy. Now, let me say 2 words. You guys ready? Tom Segura. I know he wasn't in the Oakville McDonald's that no one goes to, and they don't even have the electronic kiosks yet, but Tom Segura. Are we gonna get the side-by-side? Lester, you've already done it. I'm sorry. Guys, this has been Let's Go Through My Camera Roll. Neville and Keki Wadia.
Very smart move on the part of Rowdy Roddy.
Lester, if I may proclaim, I believe the tide has turned. You know we're gonna go to it.
I think tide turning, see, as I remember, I was raised in the desert, but tides kind of it's easy to see a tide turn. Did I say those words?
In favor of your brother-in-law, Ray. As Howard Cosell would say during a Muhammad Ali fight, he's got him on the ropes. Worst Howard Cosell impression ever?
You are correct, sir. Yes!
Ray has the council members on the ropes. The tide is turned, and any other, he's turned the bus around. That's one that I do. Any other turning of something where the progress is going the opposite way than the way it was going, Ray has them. And he has a little tidbit of information, perhaps the final death blow, whatever that is, to the council members' 5-minute rule. He went somewhere. He's going to let you, the friends, and the council members know where he went and how that's going to eliminate the 5-minute rule at the council member meetings. Guys, it's time for Ray.
Raymond Lyman, ridiculous. You calling me a liar? Well, I ain't gonna think about suing the city. Raymond Lyman, ridiculous. You calling me a liar? Well, I ain't gonna think about suing the city. I talked for 25 minutes there. I could even talk longer. Where does it say in the Constitution where there's a 5-minute rule? I looked in the library. There is no 5-minute rule.
Friends, I can't say for certain exactly how many episodes it has been since I recommended something for you to watch. Well, we're back on that horse again, and let's ride it all the way to the Deep Cut Deep Dive, which begins now. Oh, hold on, Nilly! Lester didn't know what clips to take from the Deep Cut Deep Dive, so instead, Colin from Canada is singing over this bumper. I assure you, this is real. Lester, it's been several episodes since we have taken a dive into the deep end of the pool to come along with your host, Colin from Canada, and take a deep dive into a deep cut of some sort that perhaps the friends have never heard of. They may have in this case, I don't know. The year is 1983, and director Tony Silver takes us to New York City. Okay? It's a film documentary entitled Style Wars. It's the birth of hip-hop in New York, and we are getting a behind-the-curtain look at the birth of graffiti and breakdancing. Yes, friends. 1 hour, 9 minutes. We follow, they've got to be 13, 14-year-olds, some 12-year-olds, into the subways at night when they do their, the best, buddy. Just really shows how it all started and the competition, and really, a really great documentary here, folks. And available on YouTube. Now, that's not all, Lester, because there's only so much you can say about this. I could list the graffiti artists that were featured in the film. Can we go there? Demon, Case 2, D5, Eric Hayes, Spank, Trap, Butch, K-Slay, Scheme, Zone, Kid 167, CES 157, Min 1, Cap, Shy 147, Michael Martin, Quick, Lil Scene. They would do their name and then the street they live on, like 134th or whatever. Great. Get back, I've drifted. Style Wars documentary on YouTube, as well as the follow-up years, I think it was early 2000s. They went back and interviewed the 13-year-olds who are now 40-something-year-olds. You know what I'm saying, Lester? Style Wars Revisited, also on YouTube, guys. And it's a quick watch. I think I mentioned it. 1 hour, 9 minutes on Style Wars. Style Wars Revisited, about half an hour. So, well worth it. Well worth it. Style Wars and Style Wars Revisited. Links in the description. That was this week's Deep Cut Deep Dive.
That's right. If you're going to pin Hot Rod, you better hook the leg.
Friends, Colin from Canada was on assignment last week, attending my niece's spring concert. And she did a wonderful job on bass guitar and vocals. No video footage of that. However, we do have video footage of some of the things that I found hilarious. Now, before we push forward, I am in no way making fun of any of the students or any of the children. Okay, we don't do that. Just maybe some of the productions where the adults perhaps could have gone a step above. And we have video footage of a teacher lending his hand to the drum set while the choir blesses us with glorious sounds. It's the clip of the week. It's a spring concert, and Colin from Canada,
real bad man,
was there.
When things aren't going my way, I'm thinking pasta.
2,500.
Here's the VHS collection.
Your Construction Safety Association.
Lester, it's the blank canvas at which we already covered it. Gorilla Monsoon quote of the week. What do we talk about here? Buffalo Sabres.
Going in on goal, he shoots,
Covered it last week. They're gone. But the NBA Finals, for those living in Canada, just let me do a little thing here. Go to the ProLine app, click on NBA, click on the game, go to player combos. You're gonna like this feature. They'll give you a number, let's say 20. Fox from the Spurs has to get 25 points, rebounds, and assists. We covered it a few episodes ago. There's some great things in there. Now, what you can do that not many people will know, because ProLine back in the day before it was an actual online, you know what I'm saying, they wouldn't let you do very much things. So if you were to say Leicester will get a home run, you can't say Leicester will get a double as well. Well, things done changed. Is that what the kids are saying? Things done changed? So now you can say that Fox will do 25 points, rebound, assists, and you can say he'll get 15 points and assists. So if you think he's going to go off, you can do the 3-pack, then the points and the assists and the points and the rebounds, and put it all in one. They're following me, Lester. If they hold my hand and just listen carefully, there is a rewind function on the YouTubes. Look into that, guys. I could write the picks, but you'd never see them because the game is tonight. This is Monday, Lester, day 2 of filming. Also, while I'm gonna crowbar this in here. We haven't discussed this in any of the 64 previous episodes, and I don't know why I haven't. Has anyone noticed that Chef Boyardee's beefaroni doesn't taste like it used to, like 25 years ago? Lester, I know you don't have to nod your head in agreement. I know we're on the same wavelength. Guys, Chef Boyardee 25 years ago, Chef Boyardee present day. Yep. Guys, it's time for Gorilla Monsoon. Quote of the week.
Did you see that? Couldn't see it from our vantage point. Will you stop? All kinds of pandemonium broken loose here.
Close but no cigar.
Hot rod with a chair.
Lester, New Zealand, he's not around anymore. He's taking it hard. I'm talking superstar Billy Graham hard, where it's 40 years of thinking he should still be champion. He also stole a TV from the Hart family in Calgary. But we have to look ahead and not dwell in the past, although I tend to live in the past. Over there behind me, as I turn, it's a bit blocked by the gold that you can only see half of. Rolf the Dog, defending champion, title on the line in his first title defense against Dr. Bunsen Honeydew. Results are that way. Here's the bumper. Delta Force Pizza. Delta Force Pizza. Friends, I think you see it atop my shoulder. How could you miss it? It's right here. Lester, that's part of the joke. I almost didn't. We're near the end, Lester, and beads of sweat? No. Confidence shields it. Okay, here's the gold. It's on the line. Rolf the Dog, defending champion. I brought them a little closer. Perhaps I should do that for every segment. I could even do that. Right? Okay. Now I don't know where to put this. Do I put it back on the shoulder? Lester, this will look ridiculous for the whole segment. Turning to my right. I don't even have the page up yet, Lester, my God. But we have the challenger, so don't lose faith in me now, Lester. I know you would never. I didn't mean that. I know you would never. Okay. Watch in live time as I bring up my YouTube homepage. Go over to the channel, go to posts, go to the poll, and let you know that much like Andre the Giant in 1988, he was unable to even... No, that's a bad example because he never defended the title. He just sold it to Ted DiBiase, so that doesn't count. Rolf the Dog loses the belt, is what I'm trying to say. The strap goes to the scientist, Dr. Bunsen Honeydew, okay? So, Rolf, you hit the bricks, and you get that. Again, preparation limited, Lester. I didn't plan any of this. Let's get to the challenge. Oh, 5 votes to 3 for Dr. Bunsen Honeydew. Let's get to the challenger. He's in my top 10 for sure, perhaps top 5. It's the great Gonzo. From series 2, in the line of Palisades Muppet Show 25-year figures, we have the great Gonzo. What do you get with the... Sorry. Lester, how dare I? But I might have a little problem with Palisades toys because, guys, sound off in the comments if you're with me. Is it not the great Gonzo? I don't think it's Gonzo the Great. Is this a Mandela effect, Lester? Like when I thought Richard Belzer died a year before he really died?
How about it, T? Keep him like that for a little while. He's all right. He's just sleeping.
Covered that several episodes ago. Guys, am I having a Mandela effect live on the Colin from Canada presents Colin from Canada's Good Junk, episode 65 live filming? Lester? Okay, Gonzo the Great, stunt cannon, cloth cape, and logo base. Name, Gonzo the Great. Job, daredevil performance artiste. special talents being fired out of cannons, dangling from his nose, eating tires, motorcycle jumping, skydiving into a vat of apple butter while playing the Minuit in G on a glockenspiel. Likes, poultry in pain, dislikes, complicated medical insurance forms. I'm not a predictor of the future, although I will do it at the poker table and during sporting events when I see something happening before it happens. Have we talked about that? Lester, I don't think we've covered that, but perhaps one day as my rambles will enter that arena. But as of right now, I will predict the future. There is no world where Dr. Bunsen Honeydew retains his title when taking on the likes of Gonzo the Great. I swear it's the Great Gonzo. Lester, are you with me? He's turning his head to... Am I living in a world? What? Guys, vote now.
Ronnie's in deep trouble.
Lester, I'm going to go over 1 minute, but under 2, regarding the category known as bloopers. Because as the friends have grown to adore, grown to notice, they've fallen in love with the fact that I keep the bloopers in during the show, and we put up the Fozzie Bear struggling or the Fozzie Bear Price is Right. Beep, beep, beep. So, but I don't want to lose the blooper segment because there's friends that are part of the force that appreciate being a legend when they look at the hero, Colin from Canada.
Real bad man.
Bloopers is their favorite segment on the show, so we can't take it away from them, Lester, nor would I ever. And to prove it, here's this week's bloopers. What am I doing? Gotta stop saying, What can I tell you? Try again, son. What am I deep in thought up in here? That's here nor there. You are actually laughing. Guys, it's time. Wow, that doesn't make sense, son of a... Take it again. However, Chance, the only true opponent of Zhao, refuses to participate. Yao, how did I say it when I said it? Tongue then ruthlessly, wow, legend of killers. Lester, we plan our days. Special guy with the mustache and the no. Come closer. And he, what? We're so stupid. Diving into the deep end? And no. He's not gonna, wow, dude. Lately in the weekly programs that episodes of recent episodes that you've... Hey guys, is this the real Colin? When he drops the character and he's just talking to you like a friend? Or is there a character and the camera's not shaking at all? This is way too long a blooper.
And Ronnie now bleeding profusely from the facial area.
Lester, I don't think he'll admit it freely, but he does enjoy being a part of the program. If my arm can extend this way, you'll understand who I'm talking about. Get my finger in order. I won't do it. I did it last week. We're not doing it this week. John Riddell loves being a part of the show. And I do have to remind him that we have to make French bread for the show. He will be here for the 70th. If you guys missed that announcement, have you been living under a rock? They haven't, Lester. They know. The 70th, John Riddell will be returning. Do we celebrate the anniversary on the 10s? We do. And he knows it. He's going to be a part of it. Not much else to say, other than the fact that it's time for the Queen Mother of Canada, Lynn Riddell, presents Conversational Scottish, brought to you by John, the artist, formerly known as, and we still call him it, John Riddell, living legend, John Riddle.
He
couldna punch his way oot o a wee telly. He couldna punch his way oot o a wee telly.
It is rare in this production where someone has authority above me to make the call on a certain segment. But Lester, I can only think of once when you went above my head, funny enough, in the sponsorship segment where you did Chuck E. Cheese. That Mexican restaurant, you remember. The friends remember. We'll put it up if you want. I think we should. That was the only time that I allowed Lester to take precedence over my grip, vice-like grip hold on all aspects of the production of Colin from Canada presents Colin from Canada's Good Junk, episodes 61 to 64.
I don't follow you.
But I've allowed Lester, again, some leeway and some free movement in regards to the sponsorship segment. When he lets me know that perhaps they want to stay, where the friends know that weekly the sponsorship flies, has its wings and flies away, but not this week. For the first time in the history of Colin from Canada presents Colin from Canada's Good Junk, a sponsor stays, remains, to give you words of wisdom, insight to life, life lessons, advice, guidance, your learning, lessons taught to the friends, accepted as a gift, and they learn. I don't want to harp on the L word, but the friends are learning when there is a sponsor as high up the chain of wrestling knowledge as this. Did you miss him last week? Because if you did, you might as well go back and take a gander. It's time for this week's sponsor.
You ever had India food?
Will you please stop?
Catch it.
The Empire of Taste. Will you please stop?
Catch it.
You want to play 21? I got 22. You want to play blackjack? I got 2 of those too.
Friends, I tried not to expose the weakness, Lester. I tried not to complain. I think I mentioned it twice. But when the tennis elbow really affects me and the dramatic comedy, I hide it well. Lester, friends, I think you'll agree. But now that we're at the goodbyes, I think I can let it out. It feels like there's like a tourniquet around my, and just... Friends, if you haven't guessed it already, goodbye. I didn't do it. I didn't do it, Lester. This is going nowhere. And I almost went to it. But there's a bit of a smile, so friends, thank you for tuning in. 65, buddy. 65 of these. It's a hoot every week to come into my place of employment that no longer runs poker tournaments, set up the backdrop, put the tripod on the desk. Where did we get the tripod from? Dollarama. Is it on its last legs, Lester? Yes. Do I need a replacement? Yes. Will I go back to Dollarama and buy the exact same tripod? Yes. Okay? It's a pleasure to bring this to you. I have fun every week yelling into a camera, but oh my God. Do I? I'll expose it. The hair's not shaved, guys. Whew. Can we? Lester, it's been a while, but I think it's time. What the hell are we doing, buddy? What are we doing? We're injuring ourselves for dramatic comedy for the Friends. And I can't stare at this hair any longer. So I will endure the pain of the forehead as not to expose the Friends to a receding hairline and a tennis elbow. Have I mentioned it? Guys, we're out of here. Thank you for tuning in. Get in the comments and let's start a conversation about literally anything. I will reply paragraphs. I've told them. Let's get the comment section going, guys. And let's talk amongst ourselves. Okay? Lester, forehead, expose the hair, complain about the tennis elbow. Thank the Friends for showing up. Let them know that they're always a legend in my mind, the mind of a hero. Colin from Canada.
Real bad man.
Have we done this yet? Let's throw this in at the end. And remember, the pepperettes are a firm $12. There is no haggling. Die Paperette seinen steifig $12 ein Aufdinger.
A recognized symbol of excellence since
dramatic comedy. You didn't check Trivago.
You didn't check Trivago. You didn't check Trivago.